Okay guys, so in this video we are going to be reviewing strategies for adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So again, if you need to take notes or pause the video at any time, please feel free to do that and you can continue whenever you are ready. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. We are going to start with addition, and we are going to be using the break apart method for addition. And our question for today is going to be 2 1/4 plus 3 1/4. So to start with break apart, first what you need to do is to divide your numbers into fractions and wholes. So your fractions for this problem are going to be 1/4 and 1/4, and your wholes are going to be 2 and 3. So you're always going to start by adding the fractions first. And we do this because sometimes when we add fractions, we can get an improper fraction, which we would then need to change to a mixed number so we can add properly. However, in this situation, that's not the case. We are going to add 1/4 plus 1/4, and that is going to get you to 2/4. Then you are going to add your whole numbers. So you are going to add 2 plus 3, and your answer is 5. Now the final step in the break apart strategy is to add your answers that you got from your fractions and your wholes. So if you remember, we got 2/4 as our answer to our fractions and 5 as our answers to our whole. So we're going to add those two together. So the equation would be 5 plus 2/4. And when you add those together, our final answer would be 5 2/4. Now we're going to move into subtracting, and our equation for our subtraction problem is going to be 3 5/6 minus 1 5/6. And the first strategy that we are going to use is the number line. So the first thing that we need to do is set up our number line. So just like we do when we're subtracting whole numbers or subtracting fractions that are not mixed numbers, we start with our smaller number. So our smaller fraction is going to be 1 5/6, and that's going to be towards the left of our number line. Then we're going to work our way up towards our larger fraction, which is 3 5/6. So we label 3 5/6 at the end of our number line, which I have done below. Now that my number line is labeled, I can go ahead and start making jumps. So I'm starting from the number 1 5/6. And in my head, I want to be thinking about what is the closest friendly number that I can get to, and what would I need to jump in order to get there. So the closest whole to 1 5/6 is 2. So in order to get from 1 5/6 to 2, I had to jump 1/6. So that is labeled on the first arrow. Then I'm thinking, okay, now I'm at 2. What is my next logical jump if I'm trying to get to 3 5/6? So I'm thinking in my head that I can jump another whole. So I'm going to jump from 2 to 3, which would be 1 whole, which is again labeled above the second arrow. Then on the last jump, I need to jump from 3 to get to 3 5/6. So I know that I'm going to have to jump 5/6 on my last jump in order to get me to that 3 5/6. Now, in order to find my answer, I have to add up all of the jumps that I made. So again, when you're adding your jumps, you need to start with your fractions, just like we did in the break apart method for adding mixed numbers. You are always going to start with your fractions if you have both fractions and wholes, which in this case we do. So I'm going to start by adding 1/6 plus 5/6. When I do that, I get 6/6. In your head, you should be thinking about the fact that 6/6 is equal to 1 whole. So I need to write it in terms of a whole rather than a fraction. So I'm going to write it as 1. Then I can go ahead and add that 1 to the other one from my jump. So I'm going to add 1 plus 1, which would give me 2. So my final answer for 3 and 5/6 minus 1 and 5/6 is 2. Okay guys, so that is the end of this video. So like the last video, if you have any questions or things that you don't understand, please reach out to your teacher, reach out to me, reach out to Miss Muller, reach out to Miss Harward. We're here to help you guys and we want to support you as much as we can. We love you guys, we miss you guys, and we'll see you soon.